We start with disabled, disadvantaged Sri Lankan ladies. Then we were moving into kidney disease project. So it's a charity organization. Good evening, everyone. A blissful welcome to our Saturday evening Dhamma program. Today, we all have to arrange something unexpected to hold dearly into our heart one of our most loving friend, a good friend of our Buddhist center, more than a friend to the community in London, to remember a wonderful life of Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne, who sadly left us yesterday due to some unexpected heart conditions. So we are here gathered online, very few in distance, to do something extremely important to help us to pass this difficult time. Above all, to share something very meaningful to make the journey of our loved one, Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne, a joyful, peaceful, and all the best in his journey to rest in peace, attaining the supreme bliss of Nibbana. As a personal friend myself, we are so saddened. As the Buddhist center, we are greatly missed. And also, some of our friends are here, but most of them are online. So we greatly think of our beloved friend, Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne, in this evening. In addition, today, we also hold our regular Saturday evening program with puja, blessings, and Sinhala Dhamma sermon, and also a chanting of protection blessings. Then an English Dhamma sermon, giving the children an opportunity to do a presentation as part of the Dhamma school program, and short meditation to finish the programs. So we dedicate the first 45 minutes completely for our beloved friend. It is just been yesterday. There will be some special arrangements later for religious services and to other activities. But we believe in merits, transfer of good energies. Therefore, we arrange this special remembrance, a special service, a special prayer to share with our beloved friend, Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne. Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne, above all, a great human being who made every availability for the community, monks, or the friends. And even I personally remember myself being a long-standing good friend. My father was somewhat having difficulties, and I wanted to send some wheelchairs, and he was overweight with his things, but he came all the way from London and collected and courier it without even telling me how he's going to do it. So therefore, when he wanted to help someone, he didn't think of anything, he just did it. And even we had a lot of charity work in London and other parts of Sri Lanka. And every time, day in, day out, he was working very hard to make that happen. Even when I lost my mother, I still remember it was Mr. Brixus Hettiarachi and also our loved friend, Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne, who made everything, bought the ticket and made sure that I go immediately within few hours to Sri Lanka. And they even came to the airport to share the grief and sadness of me. And I still remember how wonderful. He always were there for us and always available for us. No matter how hard or difficult, busy his life was, he didn't even show. When some people were going through, his friends going through some difficulties, he made effort to take the monks there and do a lot of activities. So I just mentioned very few to say how wonderful that Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne is. And he was the vice president of United Kingdom, United National Party, UK branch. He was a political activist, political analyst, and also very active member of community. He's a good, amazing cricketer who won a lot of credentials in that. He also an old boy of Piliandala Central College. He worked at Nigerian High Commission and also been very active part of our UK reality charity at the very beginning as a founder member and also the patron of the charity, who dedicated a lot for the disadvantaged, especially girls, women in Sri Lanka. As you know that we have a lot of facilities here. Inspired by those, we set this special charity called Reality UK, and he was an instrumental part of that charity. And then we did a lot of 31st night functions to raise the funds. One day I was going there to open the 31st night fundraising event, and he welcomed me at the entrance and said, "Bante, could you see that tree was fallen onto my car?" And that was a brand new Mercedes car. It's been smashed into the ground because of sudden fall of a tree. He was very humble, very light. He took things very light. He was not at all serious. Such a calm person and such a content person. He was never complaining about people or demanding anything. He was happy within and also without. So he's a great person, also had a great life. So in addition to our contributions to our Reality UK charity in London, even we moved from that into Presidential Task Force affiliated chronic kidney disease support. He was there with us all the time to support all the fundraisings. Today, we are together with his family, beloved wife, Mrs. Dilrukshi, wonderful 2 children, daughter Manisha, also son Tejan. We are together with you all to share this great sadness and to remember our loved, beautiful friend, devotee, Mr. Dilal Tilakratna. May he attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. With these great memories, we are going to do few things to transfer the merits into his good name, and we dedicate our today's program for his good name. හැමදිනාටම තෙරුවන් සරණයි. අද දවසේ අපි පෙර සූදානම් නො වූ විශේෂ ආගමික වැඩසටහනකුයි පවත්වන්නේ. සුපුරුදු සෙනසුරාදා ආගමික වැඩසටහන සමගම අපි අතරින් ඊයේ වියෝ වූ අපේ සදාදරණීය මිතුරෙක්, සහෝදරයෙකුට වඩා ළඟ කෙනෙක්, ඒ වගේම ඥාතියෙකුට වඩා හිතවත් කෙනෙක්, අපේ විහාරස්ථානයට ඉතාම සමීප කෙනෙක්, දිලාල් තිලකරත්න මැතිතුමාණන් සිහිපත් කරලා එතුමා වෙනුවෙන් ආගමික වශයෙන් කර හැකි ආශිර්වාදයක්, පුණ්‍යානුමෝදනාවක් සිද්ධ කරන්නටයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. පසුව ඒ කටයුතු සිද්ධ වුණත් අපේ හැම දිනාටම බලාපොරොත්තු නො වූ කම්පාවට කාරණාවක් නිසා පැය 24කටත් කලින් අපි මේ බඳු දෙයක් සංවිධානය කළේ එතුමාව සිහිපත් කරලා එතුමාට පින් අනුමෝදන් කරන්න. එතුමා එක්සත් රාජධානියේ එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂ ශාඛාවේ උපසභාපති වශයෙන් කටයුතු කළාසේම දේශපාලනික වශයෙන් ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වයක් දැක්වුවා වගේම චැරිටි අපේ සමාජ කටයුතු වලදී හුඟක් මහන්සියලා වැඩ කටයුතු කරපු බොහොම වටිනා සුවඳවත් මිනිස්සෙක්, ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ මිනිස්සෙක්. පිළියන්දල මධ්‍යම මහාවිද්‍යාලයේ ආදි ශිෂ්‍යයෙකු එතුමා නයිජීරියන් මහකුමසාරිස් කාර්යාලයේ තමයි ලන්ඩන් වල තිබෙන සේවය කරන්නට යෙදුනේ. ඉතින් එතුමා නම් සිහිපත් කරලා අපි අද දවසේ මේ ආගමික කටයුතු සිද්ධ කරන්නට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම විශේෂයෙන්ම එතුමාගේ දයාබර බිරිඳ දිල්රුක්ෂි මහත්මිය, දියණිය මනිසා වගේම පුතණුවන් තේජාන් ඇතුළු පවුලේ සෑම දෙනාටම සංවේගයේ ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමින් ඒ සෑම දෙනාම සමගින් මේ ආගමික කටයුත්ත සිද්ධ කරන්නටයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. අපි මේ වෙලාවේ මේ උදාර පින්කම සඳහා ඊටාම වටිනා ගෞරවනීය ස්වාමින් වහන්සේලා පිරිසක් වැඩ සිටිනවා. උන්වහන්සේලා මේ වෙලාවේදී මා ඊටාම ගෞරවයෙන් පිළිගනු ලබනවා. ඒ අතර ප්‍රථමයෙන්ම ආචාර්ය සිංගප්පූරුවේ දොස්තර සුමන සිරි නායක හාමුදුරුවෝ වැඩ සිටිනවා. ඒ වගේම දික්වැල්ලේ සීලසුමන පඬිත හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේ වැඩ සිටිනවා. උන්වහන්සේලා ඊටාම ගෞරවයෙන් පිළිගන්නවා. ගෞරවනීය ආචාර්ය දොස්තර සිංගප්පූරුවේ සුමන සිරිනායක හාමුදුරුවෝ විශේෂ අනුශාසනාවකින් පුණ්‍යානුමෝදනාව සිද්ධ කරනවා. අනතුරුව අපේ දික්වැලේ සීලසුමන හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේ සිංහල ධර්ම දේශනාව ආදී සෙනසුරාදාට නියමිත ආගමික කටයුතු සිදු කරනු ලබනවා. We would like to welcome to this very special location to this our Venerable Sirs. It's a very rare, distinguished presence of Venerable monks, and it is a kind of a blessing for our Mr. Dilal Tilakaratna to have this presence of Venerable monks. Among them, the first one is Most Reverend Dr. Dato Sumana Siri Nayaka Thero of Singapore, Malaysia. He was born and bred in Sri Lanka, in Malaysia and Singapore. And he is being actively engaged in a lot of activities around the world, and he's a great scholar. So he would like, I would invite very kindly and respectfully for him to make a short reflection as a form of transference of merit. Now we would start our program by lighting some candles in good name of our Mr. Dilal Tilakaratna. Also on this Saturday program, we have two other sponsors. Normally this Saturday program is being sponsored by our devotees to keep these facilities available. Today, Mrs. Ramya Cooke is sponsoring this program in loving memory of Mr. Nicholas Gunawardane, who is the beloved father, who marks the birthday 13th of December tomorrow. And Mrs. Ramya Cooke wanted to share the great merit of this noble meritorious activity, wishing Mr. Nicholas Gunawardane all the merits. And also we take this opportunity to remember another sponsor of the day, Mrs. Ruwanthi Katuwawala. Mrs. Ruwanthi Katuwawala is commemorating her late father, Mr. Littleson Cabraal, Mr. L Cabraal, who marks the 72nd birthday. So those are no longer with us, but we keep them in our heart and sharing our merits with them as well. So now we'll start with lighting some candles. I would like to invite some of our friends of Mr. Dilal to start lighting some candles to start the program. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now please say Namo Tassa 3 times to observe the precepts, 5 precepts.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Panati pata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Adinādana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Kāmesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Musāvāda veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Suramēraya majjapamā daṭṭhānā veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today we will dearly remember the sponsors of the day. Mrs. Ramya Cooke is remembering beloved father, Mr. Nicholas Gunawardane. Also beloved mother, Piyavadana Gunawardane, who dedicated a lot of time in merits. And while they were even preparing the dana, as they lived next door to the temple, their beloved father passed away on 13th of December, which was on the birthday itself. So today we take this opportunity to share these merits with Mr. Nicholas Gunawardane, remembering dearly him on his birthday. Also Mrs. Ruwanthi Katuwawala, remembering her beloved father, Mr. L Cabraal, who marks the 72nd birthday. May the beloved father, Mr. L Cabraal, attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Last not to the least, our dearest friend, Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne. May he attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Bearing this, let us join few minutes of homage. After that, our Reverend Dato, Dr. Sumana Siri Nikethanaya will deliver a sermon on this special occasion. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijjācarana sammammo sugato lokavido anuttaro purisa dhamma sārati sattā deva manussanam buddho Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanghittiko akaliko ehipassiko opanayiko paccattam veditambo viñño iti dham supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ujjupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Nyāya patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Sāmīci patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Yadidang cattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala esa bhagavato sāvaka Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali karaniyo anuttarang punyam kentam lokassati vandami cetiyang sabbang sabbakani supatititang saririka dhatuma bodhing buddha rupang sakalang sadayassa mule nisinnova sambhari vijayang akapatto sabbang yutang satta vandetang bodhipadapam ime ete maha bodhi lokanatena pujita ahang pite namassami bodhi raja namantute Dhanasarappaditena dīpena tamadang sinati loka dīpang sambuddham pujayami tamodam Gandha sambhara yuttena dupena sugandhina pujaye pujaniyantang puja bhajana muttamang vanna gandha gunopetang etang kusuma santating pujayami muning dassa sīpada saroruve kāyena vācā cittena pamadena maya katam acchayang kamami bhante bhuri panya tathāgata kāyena vācā cittena pamadena maya Acchayang kamami dhamma sandindrika akalika kāyena vā වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා
කතං
අච්චයං කමමේ සංඝ සුපටිපන්න අනුත්තර ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන
මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ
සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවානාගා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරන් රක්ඛන්තු ලෝක සාසනං ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවානාගා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරන් රක්ඛන්තු දේශනං ආකාසට්ටා ච බුම්මට්ටා දේවානාගා මහින්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරන් රක්ඛන්තු මං පරන්ති ධම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ධම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ධම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ sadhu sadhu sadhu. Now may I invite very respectfully our most Reverend Dr. Dato Sumana Siri Thero of Singapore, Malaysia. He is also the chief prelate of Great Britain and also Europe, and he is a very eminent scholar, traveled over 62 countries and speaks over 16 languages. And may I take this opportunity in loving memory as also transference of merits, especially to our Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne, also Mr. Nicholas Gunawardane, also Mr. L Cabraal. May I take this opportunity to invite our most Reverend Dr. Sumana Siri Thero to make admonition. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sisters and brothers who are Buddhists, Christians and Hindus who are today's listeners. It's a very sad day that yesterday we got the news, the condolence of the Buddhist monks have already been expressed by Reverend Akurala Samitha Thero. I've been given the task to do the religious side of it. Many things happen in our life, not what we expect. And many things don't happen what we expect. This is natural. Nobody thought that the COVID will ever come to this world. And today everybody is struggling to find a solution for it. Still, up to now, there's no 100% cure despite all the advancement of science and technology. And also, this program was set today, earlier, which is still on, for a birthday of a person who passed away on the same day as he's passing away, the late Gunawardane. Then about Cabraal, his day of passing away. There are twin aspects in life, death and birthdays, dying and being born. These have become mysteries in life, but actually they are realities if you look at it. Whatever appears must disappear. All meetings end by departing. These are very great teachings, whether it is from Buddhist or Christian or Hindu teachings. Life is so uncertain. I speak to you now, the next moment I may fall dead. Did. It has happened to 3 monks in fact. Life is a reward. Life is a great gift. We look at life as a positive thing and we look at death as a negative thing. This is our problem. Death is not negative because it teaches us the value of life. That is why the famous poet Rabindranath Tagore, who got the first Nobel Prize from Asia, he wrote many books and he said, when death comes to me, I embrace death. Because death means you relieve all the other pains. But those friends who are emotionally charged today, listening here and online, you are not willing to accept that because you lost a near and dear friend. A friend more than a relative, more than a brother, as it is said now. Life is so unpredictable. Death is so evitable anytime. In such unpredictable system, we try to become very fixed and dogmatic and think that you will live the desire to live forever. And when it comes to a death, then everybody starts to have an aura of a negative sense. You start to wear black suits, you wear dark glasses. In this country, they don't show emotions much, but you cry very loud in Asia and African countries. So the situation changes. We answer questions in our life from morning to night and from night to morning. Some of these answers can be correct, but the most correct answer, the most correct position is, which cannot be wrong, is that all of us will die one day. It was a hot summer and a bumblebee was going, singing its song after taking nectar from one place to another. It came to a lake where there was this 1,000-petaled lotus flower, beautiful lotus flower. It was just sunrise. And as you know, when sun rise, the flower opens. And these lotus flowers, at sunset, it closes. Unfortunately for the bumblebee, it was sunset time. He went in and took the nectar, but as the sun set exactly, he got trapped in it. And now he keeps on dreaming about different plans like how we make in our lives. The poet says, the bee dreams, the night will go off, the sun will come smiling tomorrow morning, and this flower will open where I am now imprisoned, and I can go off myself singing my lovely songs again. But that did not happen. So likewise, Dilal Tilkaratna, an unexpected death. Sad to many of us when we see certain situations like this. But this is inevitable. So what happened when the bee was in there? A thirsty elephant came to drink water because it was hot summer. Drank water, saw this lotus flower beautiful, he had took it and ate in his, swallowed it. That was the end of the bee story. Life is like a tragedy. Another poet said it was like a comedy. But the reality of life is like that. But that doesn't mean that we must remain negative about life. We must be more than positive. Simply being positive also is useless. We must be realistic about the nature of life. Whatever arises must disappear. Science answers many questions. They have found ways how to stop being born, but they have not found a way how not to die. You understand? They couldn't even find the corona issue yet. It's like that. With limited means, we try to understand the larger thing very simply, but we can't. So, the late Dilal was an old boy of Piliandal Central, employed at the Nigerian High Commission, and a key member of reality charity work, which is just explained now. And he was also a member of a political party, the vice chairman of the United Nations Party. An hour ago, my friend, Dr. Roger Srivasan, who was one of your former presidents, who is now in Sri Lanka, he sends his condolence to me, to the family. So this is the situation of life. We transfer merits, we listen to talks, and then we go back again to our own systems of thoughts. This is our problem. It's good to reflect and understand the value of life, and when death comes, that we are happy to go. The attachment never brings any goodness to us. It brings a lot of pain. I want to dedicate this beautiful poem to the late Mr. Dilal Tilkaratne. The poet says, we would ask now of death. What is death? You will know the secret of death, but how shall you find it unless you ask in the heart of life? The owl whose night-bound eyes are blind unto the day, owls don't see in the daytime, cannot unveil the mystery of life because daytime is blind. Life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. The river goes to the sea and becomes seawater. Then it goes round in the cycle and then comes back. It's like that. Life and death. In the depth of your hopes and desires lies your silent knowledge of the beyond. You have an idea of that something beyond yourself. Like seeds dreaming beneath the snow, your heart dreams of spring. We are now in winter. Trust the dreams, for in them is hidden the gate to eternity. What is life and death but to stand naked in the wind and melt into the sun? Only when you drink from the river of silence shall you indeed sing. When you have reached the mountain top, then you shall begin to climb. And when the earth shall claim your limbs, hands and legs and all, then you shall truly dance. Just think about life, existence, our passing away, and where we go, and how we want to manage this crisis. With the reflection based on this, we take another Buddhist line to end my admonition. Life is so uncertain. It is like the lightning that comes and goes in a second. Life is so uncertain, it's like drawing a line in water. As you draw, the line disappears in water. Life is so uncertain. It is like the dewdrops on the tiny grass. When the sun rises in the morning, the grass is gone. Sorry, the dewdrops are gone. So that is the situation of transiency. Not to see life in a negative form, but in a very realistic form. Don't be negative and never be simply merely positive as well. Accept things as they are. Manage things when you have a crisis so that you come out and become a victor, not a vanquish. May the late Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne, who passed away yesterday at the age of 52, attain the bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Our humble and most respected gratitude to our most reverend Dato Dr. Sumana Siri Thero, Singapore, Malaysia, for giving us a very important, powerful Dhamma sermon to understand this situation. According to the Buddhist tradition, such sermons are meritorious deeds. Even giving that sermon and also listening to that sermon, both are merits that we can transfer. As he took the analogy of a bee, very appropriate to our friend, bee collects honey not for him. So he's a person, Dilal was a person who collect and earned and worked, but not for him. Even I was so touched to see our Brixus Mahatya brought what he had, some blessing seat and a picture, aspiration sheet that he kept his next to his mother, and also some protection blessings. So he was like a bee. He left to the night with the expectation to wake up and set off another great day for humanity. But unfortunately, he didn't wake up. But we believe he is in eternal light because he had a lot of good work in his life. He doesn't really need more merits, but this is our duty to transfer the merits. Now, let us take our hearts and minds together and remember our dear friend and transfer the merits to his good name, Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne, also Mr. Nicholas Gunawardane, and also Mr. L Cabraal, thinking of our sponsors of the day and also Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne. Now it is time to transfer the merits. Please join with the mug of water to transfer the merits. Let us chant the verses of transference by reciting with everyone. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Yata varivaha pura paripurenti sagaram eva meva ito dinnam petanam upakappati iccitang paccitang tuyam kippameva samijjatu sabbe purentu citta sankappa Chando panna raso yata mani jyoti raso yata. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we would like to invite our most venerable Dickwelle Seelasumana Panditha Hamdro to do the Sinhala sermon. Today, Saturday, we have a regular program with our children's program as well. So now is the time for our most venerable Dickwelle Seelasumana Panditha Hamdro to do the Sinhala sermon. Then may velavedi Sinhala Dharma Deshanawa පවත්වන ලෙස මා ඊටාම ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා. Dickwelle වැබුරු කන්නල බුදුරජ මහා විහාරස්ථානයේ විද්‍යාතුංග විද්‍යායතන පිරිවෙනේ පරිවෙනාධිපතිව වැඩ සිටපු ජර්මනියේ බර්ලින් බෞද්ධ විහාරයේ අනුශාසක වශයෙන් කටයුතු කරන මේ දිනවල අප විහාරස්ථානයේ වැඩ සිටින Dickwelle සීලසුමන පඬිතු හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේට මේ දවස්වල අපි සාකච්ඡා කරගෙන යන්නේ පරාභව සූත්‍රය පිළිබඳව. එහි අදාළ ධර්ම දේශනාව සිදු කරන ලෙස අපි තාම ගෞරවයෙන් දෙපා නමද ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා. කවුරු සාදුකාරයක් පවත්වන්න.
නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස අසන්තස්ස පියා හොන්ති සන්තේන කුරුතේ පියං අසතං ධම්මං රෝචේති තම්පරා භවතෝ මුඛංති කරුණීය හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේ දූදරුවනි දෙමාපියනි අද දවසේ පරාභව සූත්‍රයේ නියමිත ගාථා ධර්මයයි මා මාතෘකා කළේ මේ ගාථා ධර්මයෙන් කියවෙන අදහස තමයි පිරිහෙන පුජ්‍යලයාට මේ ලෝකයේ අසත්පුරුෂයෝ ප්‍රිය වෙනවා ඒ වගේම සත්පුරුෂයා කෙරෙහි ප්‍රිය කරන්නේ නැතුව අසත්පුරුෂ ධර්මයන් ප්‍රිය කරනවා ඒක පුජ්‍යලයාගේ පිරිහීමට හේතුවක් කියන එකයි ඒ ගාථා ධර්මයෙන් කියවෙන අදහස මේ ගාථා ධර්මයේ තුල පිරිහෙන කරුණු තුනක් සඳහන් වෙනවා පළවෙනි කාරණය තමයි අසත්පුරුෂයන්ට ප්‍රිය කිරීම දෙවෙනි කාරණය තමයි සත්පුරුෂයන්ට ප්‍රිය නොවීම ප්‍රිය නොකිරීම ඒ වගේම අසත්පුරුෂ ධර්මයට ප්‍රිය කිරීම කියන මෙන්න මේ කාරණා තුනයි මේ ගාථා ධර්මයෙන් කියවෙන පිරිහෙන කරුණු හැටියට දක්වන්නේ. එයින් පළවෙනි කාරණය තමයි අසත්පුරුෂයන්ට ප්‍රිය කිරීම කියන එක. සත්පුරුෂයා කියන වචනේ විරුද්ධ වචනය තමයි අසත්පුරුෂයා කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒ අසත්පුරුෂ ආශ්‍රය අත්හරින ලෙස තමයි අපට ධර්මයෙන් දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. සමාජයේ ජීවත් වෙනකොට අපට අසත්පුරුෂයන්ගේ අවවාද වලට කන් දෙන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම මේ සමාජය තුළ විවිධ විෂම සමාජය තුළ වාසය කරනකොට අපට සියල්ලන් සමගම වාසය කරන්නට ඒ කොහොමද කියන එක අපි දැනගන්නට ඕන. ඒ සමගියේ වටිනාකම දැක්වෙන මහා උපදේශයක් අපට බුදුදහමෙන් දක්වලා තියෙනවා. ධම්මපාල ජාතකයේ තුල සුනෝම ධම්මං අසතං සතංච නචාපි ධම්මං අසතං රෝචයාම හිත්වා අසන්තේන ජහාම සන්තේ කියන මේ ගාථා ධර්මයෙන් කියන අදහස තමයි අපි අසත්පුරුෂයන්ගේ අවවාද ඒ වගේම සත්පුරුෂයන්ගේ අවවාදත් අහනවා. ඒ සමාජයේ ජීවත් වෙනකොට මේ දෙපක්ෂයේම අවවාද අපට අහන්න ලැබෙනවා. නමුත් අසත්පුරුෂයන්ගේ අවවාද වලට කැමති වෙන්නේ නැතුව ඒ අසත්පුරුෂයන්ගේ අවවාද අතහැරලා සත්පුරුෂයන්ගේ අවවාදම් පිළිගන්නට කියන එකයි අපේ ධර්මයෙන් දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. අන්නේ අසත්පුරුෂයන්ට වගේම ඔවුන්ගේ අවවාද පිළිගැනීමත් පරාභවයට පිළිහිමට හේතුවක් කියන එක අපේ ධර්මයෙන් දක්වලා තියෙනවා. නුවණින් නැත්නම් ප්‍රඥාවෙන් යුක්තව සිටින පුජ්‍යලයාට අසත්පුරුෂ නොවී ඉන්නට පුළුවන්. සමාජයේ ජීවත් වෙනකොට අපට අසත්පුරුෂ ආශ්‍රය ලැබුණත් ඔවුන්ගේ අවවාද පිළිගන්නේ නැතුව සත්පුරුෂයන් හැටියට අපට මේ සමාජයේ ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ප්‍රඥාව නැති පුජ්‍යලයා අසත්පුරුෂ වෙනවා. ඒ පුජ්‍යලයා ඒ අසත්පුරුෂයන්ගේ අවවාද අනුශාසනා පිළිගන්නවා. ඒ නිසා ප්‍රඥාවෙන් යුක්තව කටයුතු කරන්නට තමයි අපේ ධර්මයෙන් උගන්වලා තියෙන්නේ. ප්‍රඥාව කියන එක ආලෝකයකට, මෝහය කියන එක අන්ධකාරයට ධර්මයේ සමාන කරලා තියෙනවා. නත්ති පඤ්ඤා සමා ආභා කියලා දක්වන්නේ ප්‍රඥාව සමාන ආලෝකයක් නැහැ කියන එක. ඒ වගේම පඤ්ඤා නරාණං රතනං කියලා ප්‍රඥාව මිනිස්සුන්ට තියෙන රත්නයක් හැටියට අපේ ධර්මයේ පැහැදිලි කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා අසත්පුරුෂයන්ට කැමති වීම පුජ්‍යලයේ අන්ධකාරයට යෑමක් හැටියටයි දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. ආලෝකයෙන් අන්ධකාරයට යෑමක් හැටියටයි දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ අසත්පුරුෂයා නිරන්තරයෙන්ම යහපත් දෙයට අකමැති වෙනවා. තමන් ආශ්‍රය කරන අයත් ඒ වගේම මේ වැරදි මාර්ගයට ගන්නට තමයි උත්සාහ කරන්නේ. ඒ අනුව අපි සත්පුරුෂයන්ට කැමති වුණොත් ඔවුන්ගේ අවවාද පිළිගත්තොත් අපේ මෙලොව ජීවිතයත් පරලොව ජීවිතයත් සාර්ථක කරගන්නට පුළුවන්, පිරිහීමටපත් වෙන්නේ නැතුව යහපත් ආකාරයෙන් ගත කරන්නට පුළුවන්කම ලැබෙනවා. ඊළඟට මේ ගාථා ධර්මයේ කියවන දෙවෙනි පිරිහෙන කාරණය තමයි සත්පුරුෂයන්ට ප්‍රිය නොකිරීම කියන එක. සමාජයේ සත්පුරුෂ ගුණධර්ම ක්‍රමයෙන් පිරිහී යන බව අපට අද සමාජයේ දිහා බැලුවම පේනවා. බුද්ධ දේශනාවේ සඳහන් වෙනවා මුළු බුද්ධ ශාසනයම පවතින්නේ මේ සත්පුරුෂයා නිසා කියලා. සත්පුරුෂයන් මතයි මේ බුද්ධ ශාසනය පවතින්නේ කියලා බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ දේශනා කළා තියෙනවා. ඒ තමන් තුළ තියෙන සත්පුරුෂ ගුණ පිළිබඳව නිරන්තරයෙන්ම සිහිපත් කරන ලෙස තමයි බුද්ධ දේශනාවෙන් පැහැදිලි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. කෙලෙහි ගුණ සැලකීම, ඒ වගේම කල්යාණ මිත්‍ර සේවනය, තමන්ගේ දෙමව්පියන්ට සැලකීම වැනි ගුණාංග අද සමාජයේ සමහර අය අතර දකින්නට ලැබෙනවා. නමුත් නියම සත්පුරුෂයා කවුද කියන එක අපේ බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ දේශනා කළා තියෙනවා. යමෙක් තෙරුවන් සරණ යනවා නම් ඒ පුජ්‍යලයා සත්පුරුෂයෙක් කියලා උන්වහන්සේ දක්වලා තියෙනවා. ඒ විතරක් නොවේ, ඔහු සත්පුරුෂ කල්යාණ මිත්‍රයෙක් හැටියටත් දක්වනවා. මෙන්න මේ ලෝකයේ ඉන්න ඉහළම සත්පුරුෂයා තමයි අපේ බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේ. උන්වහන්සේ අපගේ සත්පුරුෂයා හැටියට සැලකන්නේ හැම දිනාටම කල්යාණ මිත්‍රත්වයෙන්. උන්වහන්සේ අපට මාර්ගය පෙන්වා දීලා තියෙන නිසා, මෙලොව ජීවිතය පරලොව ජීවිතය යහපත් කරගන්න ආකාරය පෙන්වා දීපු නිසා. සත් කියන වචනේ සාමාන්‍ය වචනාර්ථය තමයි යහපත්, හොඳ කියන තේරුම. ඒ සියලු සත්පුරුෂ ධර්මයන් අතර කෙලෙහි ගුණ සැලකීම ඉහළම සත්පුරුෂ ධර්මයක් හැටියටයි බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ දේශනා කළේ. කෘතඥතාවය, ඒ වගේම කෘතවේදීත්වය කියලා වචන දෙකක් අපට ධර්ම ග්‍රන්ථවල දක්වලා තියෙනවා. කෘතඥතාවය කියලා කියන්නේ කෙලෙහි ගුණ සැලකීම කියන එක. කෘතවේදීත්වය කියන්නේ කරපු උපකාරය දැනගෙන සිටීම. වේදය කියලා කියන්නේ දැන ගැනීම. ඒතර කෙලෙහි ගුණ සැලකීම කියන්නේ ඒකට ප්‍රතිඋපකාර කිරීමක්. හැම උදව්වකටම ප්‍රතිඋපකාරයක් කරන්නට අපට පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. නමුත් කෙනෙක් අපට උදව්වක් කළාම ඒ උදව්ව කළ පුජ්‍යලයා අගය කරනවා වගේම ඒ උදව්ව මතකයේ තබාගෙන ඒකට ප්‍රතිඋපකාර කිරීම තමයි අප කළ යුතු වන්නේ. තව්තිසා දිව්‍ය ලෝකයේ ඉන්න ඒ දෙවියන් සත්පුරුෂයන්ට ගරු කරන බව අපේ ධර්මයේ දක්වනවා. ඒ සත්පුරුෂයන්ට වන්දනා කරනෝ ඒ දෙවි දේවතාවෝ තව්තිසා දෙවියන්ට අනුව සත්පුරුෂ පුජ්‍යලයක් තුළ තිබිය යුතු ලක්ෂණ කිහිපයක් ධර්මයේ දක්වා තිබෙනවා. ඒ අතුරින් මව්පියන්ට සැලකීම කියන එක තමයි පළවෙනි සත්පුරුෂ ධර්මයේ හැටියට දක්වන්නේ. මාතා පෙත්ති භරං කියලා කියන්නේ මව්පිය උපස්ථානය තමයි පළවෙනි සත්පුරුෂ ධර්මය. දෙවෙනි කාරණය තමයි කුල දෙටුවන් පිදීම. ඒ තමන්ගේ දෙමව්පියෝ වැඩිහිටියෝ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි කුලයේ ඉන්න ජේෂ්ඨයෝ. වැඩිහිටිය අය එයාට ගරු කරන්නේ කියන එක තමයි බුදුදහමෙන් දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ වගේම ප්‍රියශීලී මුදුමොළොක් වචන කතා කිරීම. ඒ වගේම කේලමින් වැළකීම, කේලම් නොකීම කියන එකත් සත්පුරුෂ ධර්මයක්. ඒ වගේම මසුරුකම නැත්නම් ලෝභකමින් දුරු වීම කියන එකත් සත්පුරුෂ ධර්මයක්. ඒ වගේම අපේ ජීවිතයේ තවත් අවශ්‍ය ගුණයක් තමයි සත්‍යවාදී බව කියන එක. සත්‍ය කතා කිරීම, ඒ වගේම ක්‍රෝධය නැති කිරීම, මෙන්න මේ කියන සත්පුරුෂ ධර්ම, ඒ සත්පුරුෂයා කියන පුජ්‍යලයා තුළ තිබිය යුතු ගුණධර්ම හැටියට දෙවියන් පවා දක්වලා තියෙනවා. අපේ බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ මෙන්න මේ ධර්මතා අනුමත කරලා තියෙනවා, අගය කරලා තියෙනවා. මෙන්න මේ කියන සත්පුරුෂ ධර්ම ඇතිව අපි කටයුතු කරනවා නම්, නැත්නම් එවැනි පුජ්‍යලෝ අපි ආශ්‍රය කරනවා නම්, ඒ අය ඊටාම සුදුසු පුජ්‍යලයන් හැටියට, ආශ්‍රයයට සුදුසු පුජ්‍යලයන් හැටියට අපේ ධර්මයේ දක්වලා තියෙනවා. ඒ සත්පුරුෂයන් නොදක්නාසුළු, ඒ වගේම සත්පුරුෂ ධර්මයේ නොඉක්මුණු පුජ්‍යලයා අශෘතවත් පුජ්‍යලයෙක් හැටියටයි, නැත්නම් අශෘතවත් පුතග්ජනයෙක් හැටියටයි අපේ ධර්මයේ දක්වන්නේ. ඒ අශෘතවා පුතග්ජනෝ කියලා දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ පුතග්ජනයා හැඳීමට විශේෂණ පදයක් හැටියටයි බුදුදහමේ දක්වන්නේ. ඒකේ විරුද්ධ වචනේ තමයි සුතවා ආර්ය ශාවකෝ කියලා කියන්නේ. ආර්ය ශ්‍රාවකයා ශ්‍රුතවත් පුජ්‍යලයෙක් හැටියට, බහුශ්‍රුත පුජ්‍යලයෙක් හැටියට දක්වලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම අපි සමාජයේ ජීවත් වෙනකොට ඒ සත්පුරුෂයන් දකින්නට අපි කැමති වෙනවා නම්, ඒ වගේම සත්පුරුෂ ධර්මය අපි අනුගමනය කරනවා නම්, අන්නේ පුජ්‍යලයා හැම විටම ඒ යහපත් මාර්ගයේ යන උසස් පුජ්‍යලයෙක් හැටියට තමයි මධ්‍යම නිකායේ සබ්බාසව කියන සූත්‍ර දේශනාවේ දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. ඊළඟට තුන්වෙනි පිරිහෙන කාරණා හැටියට මේ ගාථා ධර්මයේ දක්වනෝ අසත් ධර්මයට කැමති වීම. නැත්නම් අසත් පුරුෂ ධර්මයන්ට ප්‍රිය වීම, කැමති වීම පිරිහීමේ කාරණයක් හැටියට. අසත් කියන වචනේ සාමාන්‍ය අර්ථය තමයි අයහපත්, නරක කියන එක. ඒ අසත් ධර්මයේ කියලා කියන්නේ අයහපත් ධර්මයේ කියන එකයි. ඒ කියන අයහපත් ධර්මයේ අනුගමනය කරන පුජ්‍යලයා තමයි අසත් පුරුෂයා කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒතර අසත් පුරුෂයා තුළ සුන්දර නොවන ගතිගුණ තියෙන පුජ්‍යලයෙක් තමයි අසත් පුරුෂයා කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒ අසත් පුරුෂ ආශ්‍රය කියලා කියන්නේ මෙලොව පරලොව දෙලොවටම පුජ්‍යලයෙක් පරිහානියට පත්වන ලක්ෂණයක් හැටියටයි ධර්මයෙන් දක්වන්නේ. ඒ නිසා අපි පුජ්‍යලයන් ආශ්‍රය කරනකොට සත්පුරුෂයා අසත්පුරුෂයා කවුදයි දැනගෙන කටයුතු කිරීම තමන්ගේ යහපතට හේතුවක්. ඒක මෙලොව ජීවිතය, පරලොව ජීවිතය සාර්ථක කර ගැනීමට හේතුවක්. අසත්පුරුෂයන් ආශ්‍රය කරනකොට ඔහුගේ ගතිගුණ ලක්ෂණ වලට අපි හුරු වෙනවා. ඒ නරක වැඩ වලට අපි පෙළඹෙනවා. ඒ වගේම පාපී ක්‍රියාවන්ට අපි මුහුණ දෙනවා. නැත්නම් ඒවටත් අපි දායකත්වය ලබා දෙනවා. ඒ නිසා අපි එහෙම පුරුදු වෙනකොට අපි අසත්පුරුෂ ධර්මයට ක්‍රමයෙන් ප්‍රිය කරන පුජ්‍යලයක් බවට පත් වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා අපි ක්‍රමයෙන් මේ පුජ්‍යලයන්ගේ ආශ්‍රයයට වැටෙනවා, අසත්පුරුෂ ආශ්‍රයයට වැටෙනවා. මේ නිසා ඒ පුජ්‍යලයන්ගේ ආශ්‍රය ලැබීම නිසාම ඒ පුජ්‍යලයාගේ මනස තුළ අකුසල චේතනා වර්ධනය වෙනවා, වැඩි වෙනවා. සිත, කය, වචනය කියන මේ තුන්දොර වරදට බර වෙලා ක්‍රියා කරනවා එවැනි පුජ්‍යලයන්. එතකොට මේ පුජ්‍යලයා තුළ අයෝනිසෝ මනසිකාර්ය වර්ධනය වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ නුවණක් නැතුව, ඥානයක් නැතුව, ඥාණයෙන් තොර සිතවිලි වර්ධනය වෙනවා නිරන්තරයෙන් මෙවැනි පුජ්‍යලයන් තුළ. අන්න එහෙම වැඩෙනකොට මේ පුජ්‍යලයා තුළ පාපී ක්‍රියා වර්ධනය වෙනවා, වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා එවැනි පුජ්‍යලෝ දිනෙන් දින වෙන්නේ සතර අගතියට බර වෙනවා. සතර අගතිය කියලා කියන්නේ ඡන්දා, දෝසා, භය, මෝහා කියන කරුණු අතර කෙනෙක් වැරදි වැඩවලට, නරක වැඩවලට පෙළඹෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ කියන අගතීන් නිසා. ඡන්දේ නිසා කෙනෙක් නරක වැඩවලට පෙළඹෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඡන්දේ කියන්නේ කැමැත්ත නිසා. දෝෂ කියන්නේ ද්වේෂය, තරහ නිසා කෙනෙක් පෙරදෙට පෙළඹෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම බය නිසා කෙනෙක් වරදට පෙළඹෙන්න පුළුවන්. මෝහය කියන එක මුලාව නැත්තම් මෝඩකම නිසා කෙනෙක් වරදට පෙළඹෙන්න පුළුවන්. අන්නේ කරුණු හතට තමයි සතර අගතිය කියලා ධර්මයේ දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා පුජ්‍යලයක් දෙලොවම විනාශ කරගන්නවා, මෙලොව ජීවිතේ විනාශ කරගන්නවා, පරලොව ජීවිතේ විනාශ කරගන්නවා. ඒ වගේම මේ අසත් ධර්මයට කැමැති පුජ්‍යලයා සංසාරයේ දික්වීමට හේතුවක් හැටියට අපේ බුදුදහමේ දක්වලා තියෙනවා. මෙවැනි ධර්මතාවලට පෙළඹෙන පුජ්‍යලයාගේ සංසාර ගමන තවදුරටත් දික් වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා ඒ අසත් ධර්මය නිසා ඒ පුජ්‍යලයාගේ සංසාරයේ ගමන දික්වීම නිසා මෙලොව පරලොව වශයෙන් දුකටපත් වෙනවා, වේදනාවටපත් වෙනවා. එතකොට අපට ධර්මයේ දක්වනෝ මේ විදිහේ අදහසක්, අවවාදයක්. යාව ජීවම් පිචේ බාලෝ පණ්ඩිතම් පෛරුපාසති නසෝ ධම්මං විජානාති දබ්බී සූප රසං යතා කියලා. බාලයා නැත්තම් මෙතන කියන මේ අසත්පුරුෂයා ජීවිතාන්තයේ දක්වා පණ්ඩිතෙක් ආශ්‍රය කළත් ඒ පුජ්‍යලයා ධර්මයේ හොඳින් දැනගන්නේ නැහැ. කොහොමද උපමාවකින් දක්වනෝ හරියට හැන්ද මාළු පිනිවල රසය හඳුනන්නේ නැතුව වගේ අර අසත්පුරුෂ පුජ්‍යලයා ධර්මයේ ගැන වැටහීමක් ඇති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ගුණධර්ම ඉගෙන ගැනීමක් ඇති කරගන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා අප අසත් ධර්මයේ බැහැර කළා සත් ධර්මය අපේ ජීවිතයට සමීප කරගන්නට අදිෂ්ඨාන කරගනිමු. හැම දිනාටම තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
සාදු සාදු සාදු. ඒ උතුම් ධර්ම දේශනාව පවත්වන්නට යෙදුනේ දික්වැල්ල වැවුරු කන්නල බුදුරජ මහා විහාරස්ථානයේ විද්‍යාතුංග පිරිවෙනේ පරිවෙනාධිපතිව වැඩ විසූ බර්ලින් බෞද්ධ විහාරයේ අනුශාසක වශයෙන් කටයුතු කරන දික්වැල්ලේ සීලසුමන පඬිත් හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේ සෙනසුරාදා දවසේ නියමිත ධර්මානුශාසනාවයි පවත්වන්නට යෙදුනේ. මේ උතුම් ධර්මානුශාසනාවෙන් රැස් කරගත් කුසල සම්භාරය අද දවසේදී සිහිපත් කරන විශේෂයෙන් රුවන්ති කටුවාවල මහත්මියගේ පින්වත් පියතුමාණන් 72 වෙනි උපන්දිනය අද දවසේ සිහිපත් කරන්නේ. ලිටල්සන් කබ්‍රාල් මැතිතුමාණන්ට මේ පින් අනුමෝදන් වේවා. එවැගේම රම්‍යා කුක් නෝනා මහත්මියගේ දයාබර පින්වත් පියතුමාණන් නිකොලස් ගුණවර්ධන පියතුමාණන්ට මේ පින් අනුමෝදන් වේවා. එවැගේම ලන්ඩන් නුවර පදිංචිව වාසය කරපු අපේ හැම දිනාටම සහෝදරයෙක් ඥාතියෙක් එවැගේම ඊටාම වටිනා මිත්‍රයෙක් වශයෙන් කටයුතු කළ අපේ දිලාල් තිලකරත්න මැතිතුමාණන්ට මේ පින ඒකාන්ත වශයෙන් අනුමෝදන් වේවා කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමු. සාදු සාදු සාදු. As we usual, we are continuing our Saturday program along with this special remembrance service. Now we'll do a short chanting of blessing and then we'll do the English sermon as well. Our Venerable monks will do a short chanting. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Karaniya mat කුසලේන යන්තං සන්තං පදං අபிසමිච්ඡ සක්ඛෝ උජුච සූජුච සුවචෝ චස්ස මුදු අනතිමානේ සන්තුස්සකෝච සුබරෝච අප්පගිච්ඡෝච සල්ලවුක වුන්දේ සන්තින්ද්‍රියෝච නිපකෝච අප්පගම්බෝ කුලේසු අනනුගිද්දෝ රචකුන්නම් සමාචරේ කිංචේන විඤ්ඤෝ පරේ උපවදේ දෙයියොන් සුඛිනෝ වාකේමිනෝ හොන්තු සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තායේ කේචිපාන
භූතන්ති
තසාවාතාවරාවා අනවසේසා දීගාවායේ මහන්තාවා මජ්ජිමාරස්ස කානුකතුලා දිට්ඨාවායේව අත්තිට්ඨායේච දූරේ වසන්ති අවිදූරේ භූතාවා සම්භවේ සීවා සම්මේ සන්තාවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා නපරෝ පරං නිකුම්බේත නාති මඤ්ඤේත කන්තතිනං කංචි ව්‍යාරෝසනා පටිග සංඥා ඥාඤ්ඤමඤ්ඤස්ස දුක්ඛ නිච්චය මාතා යතානියං පුත්තං ආයුසායේක බුද්ධ අනුරක්ඛේ එවං පි සම්බ භූතේසු මාන සම්භාවයේ අපරිමාණං මෙත්තං ච සම්බ ලෝකස්මින් මාන සම්භාවයේ අපරිමාණං උද්දං අදෝච තිරියං ච අසම්බාධං අවේරං අසපත්තං තිට්ඨං චරං නිසින්නෝ වාසයානෝ වායාවතස්ස ඉගත මින්දෝ ඒතං සතින් අදිත්තේය බ්‍රහ්මමේතං විහාරං ඉදමාවෝ දිට්ඨිංච අනුපගම්ම සීලවා දස්සනේන සම්පන්නෝ කාමේසු විනේයගේ දං නයි ජාතු ගබ්බසෙයං පුනරේති සම්බීතියෝ විවජ්ජන්තු සම්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු මාතේ භවත්වන්තරායෝ සුඛී දීඝායෝ භව යන්දුන් නිමිත්තං අවමංගලං ච යෝචාමනාපෝ සකුණස්ස සන්දෝ පාපග්ගහෝ දුස්සුපිනන්නකන්තං බුද්ධානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තෝ ධම්මානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තෝ සංඝානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තෝ දුක්ඛප්පත්තාච නිදුක්ඛා භයං පත්තාච නිබ්බයා සෝකප්පත්තාච නිස්සෝකා හොන්තු සබ්බේ පිපානිනෝ සාදු සාදු සාදු. In the program, our next item is the English Dhamma sermon. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, Supremely Enlightened One, Lord Buddha. As usual, on Saturday evening, we have sponsored Dhamma program that our devotees can take something special, important occasion in their life and sponsor these programs to make the merits to share with their loved ones. To generate that powerful meritorious activity, we would like to share this Dhamma sermon as a Dhamma Dana, gift of teachings of the Buddha, as a meritorious activity. We have been taking different subjects to benefit for our children as well as our community adults. We went through a discourse on blessings, Mangala Sutta, and we discussed about 38 factors of blessing. 38 factors that helps for a person to develop. After finishing that discourse, we moved on to another very popular, very useful discourse, that is Parabhava Sutta, the discourse on downfall. There our Lord Buddha explained how we can identify psychologically, biologically, environmentally, sociologically, even is economically and spiritually. How are the signs that reflect on a person, whether the person progress or decline? He explained this very beautifully in the Parabhava Sutta, the discourse on downfall. As you know, when the Buddha was there, the teachings was not recorded. That was passed by word of mouth and learned by heart. However, Lord Buddha passed away after being in the ministry of 45 years. He delivered the teaching 45 years. And in that 45 years of service, on every day, he spent over 2 hours in the middle of the night for the divine beings. So the angels came and asked questions and learned the Dhamma from the Lord Buddha. When the night passes into midnight, the time is much quieter and everything seems tranquil. That is where even the angels rejoice in asking great questions. So the Buddha chosen this time to meet the divine beings, angels, and he delivered great discourses. Those are being recorded in the Kuddaka Nikaya, one of the 5 collections of teachings. As we know, Buddha passed away. By that time, the teachings were not recorded. Then 3 months later, 500 enlightened monks got together. This is 5th and 4th century before Christ. Then they had a special delegation, kind of a conference, to preserve the teachings of the Buddha. Venerable Ananda, who was an attendant, very close Buddhist monk to the Buddha, remembered all these discourses and presented in the midst or middle of 500 enlightened monks. That is how that was, we call the first council. These teachings were recorded. In there, this discourse comes in Sutta Nipata, and that is the 6th discourse in that collection of teachings. This discourse is very special. As we discussed the discourse on blessing, there was a huge interest in the society. What are the signs of progress? What are the signs that can help our life to be improved? Then it didn't stop in the human sphere, and it went even to the divine sphere. So even among the angels, divine beings, there was a great discussion. What are really blessings? Because even in the midst of pandemic, this COVID, you can see many people are finding the miracle medicine. They were saying this is working, this can help. We were being challenging whether we have the scientific evidence, whom to be believed. In the same way, the great discussion went among the divine beings, and one of the very intelligent and the king of Devas said, the best answer can be given by the Buddha. Let's go and ask him. So he delivered, in response to that question, the discourse on blessing. On the very day after, the Devas were very delighted and they had another question. Now we know what are the signs of progress. Let us ask this blessed one, what are the signs of declining, deteriorating, downfall? On the day after that he delivered the discourse on blessing, this Devas approached the Buddha and asked this question, sir, we now know from you real blessings of progress could you, out of compassion, explain us the signs of downfall so that our children, our families, our community can register them seriously, they can develop themselves. So last week we discussed the first stanza of that, which explained the first signs of downfall. Today our subject is the second verse of that. There are 25 verses in that discourse, and it is in a question and answer form. It's a beautiful discourse that Parabhava Sutta we are discussing is also included in the Parittana book of protection, we call Pirit Pota, which has in every household a great collection of chanting of protection blessings. And that discourse, if you read it, very, very poetic, very soothing, very powerful, and it also has a beautiful meaning to reflect the causes, signs that we should gratefully avoid because it can cause very serious problems. I will say the second stanza that explain the second signs of destruction, because we did discuss about the first one last week. Iti hetang vijanama patamoso parabhavo dutiyang bhagava bruhi kim parabhavato mukang. This is the deity, the angel asks. Thus much we do. Now we know this is the first cause of downfall. Pray, tell us the second cause of deterioration or downfall. Then Buddha explained the second. Asantas piyahonti santena kurute piyang asatang dhammang procheti tanpara bhavato mukang. Here it explains the one who declines always interested in wicked people, immoral people, people with good low qualities. That is the first one. So the sign that you can identify whether this person progress or not by seeing the characteristics or interest of this person, whom he really wanted to associate with, whether good people like monks, good parents, good teachers, or whether he is interested people who go into drugs, alcohol, crimes, and bad behavior, and also doesn't listen, doesn't interested in homework, or sometimes the children who are on games, meeting online virtually, doing lot of games, those who are not interested in doing other homeworks and other interest of reading and writing and literature. So that means the wicked are dear to him. So he is also interested in low quality people, and low quality people also comes behind him. That is a sign of downfall. And the second quality of that explain that person doesn't like the virtuous people. He doesn't like to go and see the monks. He doesn't like to go and see great teachers, great speakers, the people who has knowledge and wisdom. He doesn't like. He thinks boring. He or she thinks it's not that important. That is a sign, Buddha said. If you're interested to see more valued people, more virtuous people, more good people, that is a sign of progress. Whereas if you see otherwise, then that is a sign of declining. And the third one, he says, that person always interested in the ideologies of these wicked, bad, immoral people. So believing those things, sometimes parents say things to children, they don't believe. But if they ask their mates to say that, they believe that. because they are very much inclined into believe what they believe. And also sometimes they have these wrong views. Even though good things were said by the parents or monks or teachers, they don't want to listen to it. They are not interested. They get crossed. They get really upset. Why? That is a sign that generate like a weed in a garden. You don't have to put the water. You don't have to look after it. It even grows better than a normal plant. So that is a sign of deterioration. We call defilements. And Buddha said the person are interested in such ideologies, such wrong views, that is a sign of downfall. During the time of the Buddha, there were 62 type of wrong views, and that is been explained Brahmajala Sutta, and that explained the net of views. When a person goes into, sometimes people, some children believe when they go into the universities and other places, they caught up with these beliefs, and even without the consent of the parents, even they don't listen to the parents, they even go to some other countries to be associated with some organizations. Sometimes they go and believe in some other misbehaviors and they become part of it. No matter whether a child or an adult, this could happen a great harm. Therefore, Buddha said that is signs of declining. So this discourse is that about explaining how the mind develops to be delight in seeing the bad, negative, wicked people and believe those theories and philosophies and ideologies. That is very harmful, dangerous things that can cause downfall. That is explained in the discourse on downfall, Parabhava Sutta. So that is a very brief reflection, because our few of children are going to have an excellent presentation on the previous one. Therefore, I can explain furthermore. I leave it for research for you to go and find out more about this second blessing. Now, I take this opportunity. May the power of this Dhamma sermon made in English for the benefit of those who can't really understand Sinhala. May the blessings of this meritorious activity be with our today's sponsors, Mrs. Ramya Cooke, who remember her beloved father, Mr. Nicholas Gunawardane, also mother, Mrs. Piyavadana Gunawardane. May they attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Also to our second sponsor of the day, Mrs. Ruwanthi Katuwawala, beloved father being remembered, Mr. L Cabraal, who marks the 72nd birthday today. May they all attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. And finally, our beloved friend who passed away yesterday, and there will be some other arrangements in the future. You will be certainly informed. There is a WhatsApp group, Facebook group, and also some other communications through some websites are being publishing a lot of information, because he's been doing a great service in the United Kingdom, especially to Sri Lanka. So there will be some other special services and religious activities in the forthcoming days. Do keep us in touch, and we would like to make the best for our good friend, Mr. Dilal Tilakaratne, wishing him a peaceful journey and beautiful journey with all the merits, and may he attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May he rest in peace. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now I will pass on to the opportunity to our Rasikaya to go ahead with the children's program.
Thero Saranayam. Good evening to everyone. So we learned last week the first Dhamma Karana in Parabhava Sutra, how to identify person who loves Dhamma and follows Dhamma, who is Dhamma Kamo, and as well as the person who ignores Dhamma and not follow Dhamma, who is a Dhamma Desi. And Hamduru kindly explained to all of us what are the characteristics of Dhamma Desi and Dhamma Kamo. And we ask you to present your understanding of that lesson today. So without taking much time, I would pass on to the first person to present your understanding of that lesson. Chanadi, please start.
Suvichana pavam hoti, suvichana parabhavo, dhammakamma pavan hoti, dhammadesi parabhavo. Meaning of this katha is, easily known is the progressive one. Easily known is the declining one too. The lover of the Dhamma prospers, the hater of the Dhamma declines. Thero 179.
Thank you, Nongji. We all learn about the great Mangala Sutra, a true sutra, who last few months. From there, we aware what are the guidance need to be added from our lives. Now we are going to learn about the Howard Power Sutra, which is like opposite of the Mangala Sutra. Is summoned by Lord Buddha to the gods when stayed at Jennifer Wamir. Basically, it says anybody who loves the Buddha will be suffering, and anybody who hates Dhamma will be downfallen. Not only that, having understanding and practicing all this force, person can attain Nibbana. Today, I would like to talk about Sufi Dano Pawan Hotikaka, which comes in the Power Sutra. The lover of the Dhamma who behave according to the Dhamma. The qualities of them are helpful, kind, and practicing the Dasakusai. They're very interesting. Oh, Dhamma as yet the Dhamma as a mirror, then Dhamma will protect them as a miracle power and bless them always. Likewise, the hater of the Dhamma will displease the person who tells lies, stealing the things and always cheating. The person is not suitable for the society and destroyed by himself. Thank you very much for listening. Someone saying.
Thank you, Rayon. Everyone knows that we learned Parabhava Sutra last week. Parabhava Sutra is a very popular discourse. It is included in one of the very important teachings of the Lord Buddha for those who wished to avoid things that declined our life progress.
Oh, Aya, I don't understand the difference between Mangala Sutra and Parabhava Sutra.
Mangala Sutra explains about the factors that progresses our life, but Parabhava Sutra explains what are the things that cause us to downfall to our life.
Suvijano bhavan hoti, Suvijano parabhavo, Dhammakama bhavan hoti, Dhammata
clearly. Vavanhoti means known he who progresses. Dhammakamu means one who is interested in Dhamma. Dhammadesi means one who is not interested in Dhamma.
Okay, Aya. Now I will tell you the meaning by myself. Anyone can identify very clearly he who progresses or he who declines. He who interested in Dhamma, his life will progress, but he who not interested in Dhamma, his life will go downfall. Aya, how can we recognize a person who is interested in Dhamma?
One who interested in Dhamma. There are 10 wholesome actions, and those are always share things with others, well behaved and well disciplined. He does meditation.
Another one is respect for elders. Also, we need to guard as a team.
Yes, Tangi, you are correct. But there are some more as well. Listening to the Dhamma, discussing the Dhamma. Then the last one is always practicing the right view. The opposite of this, someone who does not interested in Dhamma, we can recognize him easily because he doesn't have those 10 qualities which I have explained to you earlier.
That means they do killing animals, stealing things and telling lies, greedy and angry with others.
When you are practicing the Dhamma, you will be very happy, fulfilled person, like a pot filled with water. When you are not practicing the Dhamma, you always suffering, and whole life will be empty like an empty pot.
Thero Saranai.
Thank you, Mithul Malli and Mihli Nangi. Last week, we learned about a gatha from the Parabhava Sutra called Suvajano Bhavanhoti. Suvijano Bhavanhoti. Yes, Akka. It is the first gatha from the Parabhava Sutra. Do you remember what the gatha is, Malli? Yes, it is Suvijano Bhavanhoti, Suvijano Parabhavo, Dhammakamo Bhavanhoti, Dhammadesi Parabhavo. Did you know, Akka? Lord Buddha said that we can easily identify those who will progress and those who will decline. Yes, Malli. Dhammakamo Bhavanhoti. This means that those who love the Dhamma will progress. That means that they are kind to others, they share, they live, they listen to, understand, and live according to the Dhamma and have a right view, right intention, right speech, right actions, right livelihood, right effort, right concentration, and right mindfulness. In other words, they follow the Noble Eightfold Path. Dhamma desi parabhavo. If you do not love the Dhamma, this means if you do not love the Dhamma, you will decline. To not love the Dhamma means to perform unwholesome actions such as killing, stealing, lying, and having sensual and sexual misconduct. Also, you get angry, you are greedy, you do not share anything, and you have ill will thoughts. You do not shine amongst people and you are a burden. Yes, Malli. Therefore, as Dhamma school children, we must live according to the Dhamma, or we will fail in our lives. Thank you for listening. Theruvan Saranai.
Thank you, Avishi, Akki and Hasindu Ayya. Last week, we learnt about a stanza from the Parabhava Sutra. The stanza explained two different types of people called Dhamma Kamo and Dhamma Desi. First, we are going to talk about Dhamma Kamo today.
There are 10 wholesome actions a Dhamma Kamo does in order to identify them. The first one is generosity. This means that they give dana to people. For example, giving food, shelter, clothes, and other essentials to a poor person.
The second quality is upholding morality. Upholding morality means that the person is observing the 5 precepts and is well disciplined.
The third quality is to have a flexible mind. Remember, we learned a Mangala Karana about that was Kanti Jasulva Chasata. The word Kanti meant patience, and in order to gain the patience, Hamaduru said that the best way was to do meditation. Meditation can help your mental stability and make you feel calm.
The fourth quality is respect and reverence. To be a Dhamma Kamo, you have to respect and reverence the adults and monks. The best thing to respect your parents is to listen to them. For example, if your parents asks you to do something, you will listen to what they say.
The fifth quality is service to others. A Dhamma-loving person would do chores and wholesome activities that are linked to Dhamma. They would work as a team because if they didn't, then the job would be done slowly. And if they did, the job would be done much quicker.
The sixth quality is to transfer the merits to the departed ones. Remember, we learnt about the Gatha Idamme Nati Nam Hotu. This is used to transfer merits to the departed ones.
The seventh quality is transferring merits to other people in general. This means that they rejoice in other people's good deeds and even to rejoice them in when the good person is in a bad situation. For example, if the good person is doing something like meditation and other people are laughing at them, the people who are laughing are called Dhammedesi. You would still want to give good deeds to the person who's doing meditation because he's doing a good thing.
The eighth quality is listening to the Dhamma. To be a Dhamma Kamo, you have to listen and be interested in the Dhamma. This will make you more mature. This also means Kalena Dhamma Savanam.
The ninth quality is discussing the Dhamma. This means that a Dhamma Kamo would study the Dhamma like us children in Dhamma school, but more thoroughly, in order to fully understand the teachings.
The 10th quality is to always practice Samma Ditti, which means right view. The person who loves Dhamma practices the Dhamma thoroughly in order to fully understand it. Thank you for listening.
Thero Saranai.
Thank you. Parabhavantan Purisan Maya Puchama Gotaman Bhagavanatanam Uttamagama Kim Parabhavato Muttan Theruwan Saranai.
අවසරයි හාමුදුරුවනේ. Thank you Sinuth Malli. ගෞතම බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේ විසින් මහා මංගල සූත්‍ර දේශනාවට පසුදින දෙවි බ්‍රහ්මසේනාව උදෙසා දේශනා කොට වදාළ සූත්‍ර දේශනාවකි පරාභව සූත්‍රය. කෝටි ලක්ෂයක් දෙවි බමුන් රහත් ඵලයේ පිහිටුවන ලද අසංඛ්‍යයක් පිරිස සෝවාන් මාර්ගය පිහිටුවන ලද සූත්‍ර දේශනාවකි. ජේතවනාරාමයේ බබලමින් පැමිණි දෙවි බ්‍රහ්මයන් උන්වහන්සේගෙන් මෙසේ ප්‍රශ්න කළහ. පරාභවන්තං පුරිසං මයම් පුච්ඡාම ගෝතමං භගවන්තං පුට්ඨමාගම්ම කිං බරාභවතෝ මුකං. ස්වාමීනි, භාග්‍යවතුන් වහන්ස, පිරියන සුළු පුද්ගලයා අපි දැනගන්නට ඕනේ. අපි ඔබ වහන්සේගෙන් ඒ සම්බන්ධව විමසා දැන ගැනීමටයි පැමිණියේ. අවසරයි ස්වාමීනි. එවිට බුදුන් වහන්සේ මෙසේ වදාළසේක. සුවිචානෝ භවන් හෝති. දිනුවන පුද්ගලයා ගැන දැන ගැනීමට සුවසේ පුළුවනි. සුවිජානෝ පරාභවෝ. පිරියන පුද්ගලයා පිළිබඳවද සුවසේ දැනගත හැකි. ධම්මකාමෝ භවන් හෝති. ධම්මදෙස්සී පරාභවෝ. ධර්මයට කැමති තැනැත්තා දියුණුවට පත්වෙනවා. ධර්මයට ද්වේෂ කරන්නා සෑම කල්හිදීම පිරියනවා. ඉතින් නංගී මල්ලි, අපි පුද්ගලයන් ආශ්‍රය කිරීමේදී ඒ පුද්ගලයා දියුණුවන පුද්ගලයෙකුද නැති පුද්ගලයෙකුද යන්න නැනවතුන්ට දැනගන්න පුළුවන්. යම්කිසි පුද්ගලයෙකු ධර්ම ශ්‍රවණයට, ප්‍රතිපත්ති පූජාවට, ධර්ම දානයට, සීලයන් සමාදන් වීමට, ධර්ම දේශනයට ඊතා කැමැත්තෙන් නොපිරිහෙලා ඉටු කරයි නම් ඔහු ධර්මකාමී පුද්ගලයෙකුයි. ඔහු මෙලොවොත් පරලොවොත් දියුණුවෙන් දියුණුවටම පත්වෙයි. සීලයක් රකින්නේ නැති, ධර්මයට ද්වේෂ කරන, දාන, සීල, භාවනා කරන්නේ නැති පුද්ගලයා මෙලොවද පරලොවද පිරිහෙයි. තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
Okay, who wants to go first from Milton Keynes? Oh, yeah, Ramin.
Good evening to all. Yesterday we learned the first verse of Dhammadesi. Today I will recite this great gatha of the second verse. Parabhavatam purisam maya puchama gautama bhagavantam puttumagama kim parabhavanto mukham suvijano bhavam hoti suvijano parabhavo dhammakamo bhavam hoti dhammadesi parabhavo. We asked from Gautama Buddha, what are the reasons for man's downfalls? Gautama Buddha answered saying, is someone who follows Dhamma always progresses in their life. But if anyone who dislikes the Dhamma always live with a regret. Thank you. Oba Samitha Thero Saranai.
Thank you, Ramin. Manuka, have you got anything? Manuka, if you're not ready, oh yeah, okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Manuka and I am from Letchworth Dhamma School, and today I'm going to be talking about the first gatha of Parabhava Sutra. Parabhavantam Purisamayam Puchama Gautami Bhagavatam Puttamagama Kim Parabhavatomokam Sovijano Bhavam hoti suvijana parabhava dhammakamo bhavam hoti Dhamma Desi Parabhavo. Having come here with our questions to the Blessed One, we ask thee, O Gautama, about man's decline. Pray, tell us the cause of one's downfall, easily known as the progressive one, easily known as the declining one. One who loves the Dharma progresses, one who hates the Dharma declines. Tell one Saranai.
Set.
Suvijano Bhavam Hoti, Suvijano Parabaho, Dhamma Kamo Bhavam Hoti, Dhamma Desi Parabaho. The meaning of this gatha is easily known is the progressive one, easily known he who declines. He who loves Dhamma progresses. He who is averse to it declines. Thank you for listening, Thero and Saranai.
Anything?
The Parabhava Sutta points out the causes of downfall. It deals with various causes which lead to decay and the corruption of beings. The Buddha preached this sutta after the Mangala Sutta. The Buddha said that he loves Dhamma. The Buddha said that he who loves Dhamma progresses, and he who is averse to it declines. This means that if a person wants to learn the Dhamma, they will become successful in understanding it. However, if one has a strong dislike and opposition to the Dhamma, they will not understand or progress in the Dhamma. The second cause of one's downfall is being too fond of comforting things, and being lazy and irritable. Not supporting parents in the time of their old age is also a cause of downfall. Other causes include to trick and deceive ascetics and Brahmins, to enjoy luxuries alone whilst having wealth, to be proud of one's status, to be a drunkard, to not be contented with one's wife, to have a vast ambition and crave rulership. These can help us to know what not to do and how they can prevent us from progressing in the Dhamma. Thero and Saranai.
Yeah, so we can do Tanaka and Tevini, please.
Okay. As we all know, the Mangala Sutta expresses a way of life conducive to progress and happiness, while the Parabhava Sutta points out the causes of downfall. The Pali word Parabhava means decline, and the term Sutta means the Buddha's teachings. In this discourse, the Buddha has described the characteristics of a Dhammadesi, meaning the haters of the Dhamma. 12 verses are the request from the deity to the Buddha asking for the causes of downfall, while each verse shows the Buddha telling us the various causes of the downfall. The sutta begins when a certain deity, whose surpassing radiance illuminated of Yetavana, came to the presence of the Buddha and addressed the Blessed One.
The Buddha has told many instructions to the welfare and happiness of lay people. Now I will talk about what each verse means briefly. The features of a Dhammadesi are: the first cause is hated the Dhamma. He approves the wicked one. He is inactive and lazy and angry. He does not follow his mother and father, deceives monks, proud at wealth alone, despises his family, has jealousy, wants power, is vicious, is selfish.
Thero and Saranai.
Anyone else wants to speak? Oh yeah, Sachin.
Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the first and second verses of Palabhavaga Sutta. Last lesson, we learnt about downfall and progress. So progress, and learnt what are the differences between them and how to tell if people are in the stage of what. Bottom pulisam mayam pachima gotama bhavagam tumagama kimpa the bhavatu mukam. This verse means having come here with our questions to the Supreme One, we asked thee, O Gautama, about man's decline. Pray tell us the cause of downfall. Verse 2 tells us this. Suvijano bhavam hoti, suvijano bhavam bhavo, Dhamma kwamo bhavam hoti, Dhamma desipa bhavam. The meaning, easily known, is the progressive one. Easily known, he declares, he who is the adverse to it declined. What this verse tells us is that people who believe in the Dhamma progresses in life, while people who doesn't believe in the Dhamma will experience downfall. You can tell if a person is having downfall by these qualities, including killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, false speech, and the three mental actions of cowardness or greed. Good qualities include honesty, fairness, truth, virtue, justice, goodness, and righteousness. A key difference between the Mangala Sutta and the Palabhava Sutta is that the Mangala Sutta experiences how people can improve in life, while the Palabhava Sutta tells us how people can downfall in life.
Good, very good. Anyone else who wants to talk? No? Good. Well done to all of you. You showed a good understanding of last week's Gatha to identify the characteristics of who loves Dhamma and who doesn't. And we learned another Gatha today, how one's mind progress when seeing good things and good people, and as the same way, how one's mind declines when seeing bad things and bad people. So I would like you to do homework next week as well in relation to today's Gatha and the lesson, as Hamaduru explained. Hamaduru didn't quite have much time today to explain it in full, so you might have to research about this Gatha a bit more by reading a book or going online or asking your parents. Is that okay? Yeah? Good. Right, so this is the end of the lesson today. But who wants to do meditation today? Good. Well done. Most of you want meditation. Good. So what we can do is sit down properly. Keep your back straight. and your right arm on the left, right hand on the left hand, and keep both hands on your lap. Relax your shoulders and chin up. And let your eyes close on its own. Don't close it by force, let it close on its own. And repeat after me. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May all the people be well. May all the people be happy. May all the people be peaceful. Repeat again. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May all the people be well. May all the people be happy. And may all the people be peaceful. And repeat that stanza in your mind. Keeping your posture as it is. One minute. Take your palms together and say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And open your eyes. Who is feeling good? Very good. Well done. All of you have done a good job. Well done. I saw that you are not doing any other movements at all. That was really good. Well done. So we were talking about last week, having a flexible mind. Avishi told everyone that having a flexible mind, when you have a flexible mind, you can face difficult situations with lots of patience. Yeah? So you won't react to difficult situations quickly. So you step back and think before you react. So that is like an elastic. Your mind takes time to react. So that's called flexible, having a flexible mind. So to have a flexible mind, you need to improve your meditation skills. And that's what we do every Saturday afternoon after the Dhamma school. Yeah. I could see that you have been doing it well, and I hope that you will become better at it and improve your mental abilities. So thank you very much for all of you today. And next week and week after is school holidays, isn't it? So it is Christmas, New Year, lots of seasonal activities coming up. So I thought we will give you some time to enjoy your holiday time without having Dhamma school. Okay? So we will not have Dhamma school next week and week after, but we will be meeting again on the January 1st, the New Year. On the New Year day, we will be having a special puja ceremony to bless you for the New Year. So we'll give you parents the details about the program on. But remember, we will not have Dhamma school next week and week after. And we will be meeting again on the 1st of January with the New Year program. And after that, we will continue on after the 1st of January. Is that all clear? And I can see two new faces today. Welcome to Tenuka and Tevini.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also Sanket and Olu. Okay, I hope you will join us every Saturday in the new year. So, everyone, Saranai, to all of you. Have a nice holiday and have a nice Christmas if you are celebrating Christmas.
Rasik Mama.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
Everyone Saranai. Everyone Saranai.
Everyone Saranai.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Everyone Saranai.
Everyone Saranai. Sanket, how are you?
Good.
Good. Did you enjoy today's lesson?
I couldn't really understand.
Teruwan Saranai Amaturane.
Teruwan Saranai.